It's time for the Coach's Corner Show with your host, Pat Disabato.
Hello and welcome to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I'm your host, Pat Disabato, and we are at Marist High School, home of the Redhawks. And you see how quiet this place is on Monday night. We're taping. On Friday night, this place is going to be craziness here. It'll be a packed house, and it's going to be two great ball teams, Marist and Brother Rice, arch rivals. The Pulaski Road Super Bowl kicks off 6 p.m., folks. Our guests, we got two guests, football coach Ron Dawczak in his 5th season here. Redhawks are sitting 6-2. They're coming off a 51-28 win over Carmel. So Coach Dawczak will talk about this week's game and the Class 8A playoffs. And we'll also have on Dr. James Leonard from Midwest Orthopaedic Consultant Sports Medicine. Dr. Leonard is the team doctor here at Marist and as well at Sandburg, which is his alma mater. He's been a guest of ours a number of times through the years. All right, folks, we are going to go to a Beggar's Pizza timeout. When we return, Marist football coach Ron Dawczak will be our guest. Stay tuned.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggar's Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
Hello, boys. I'm a drop-dead gorgeous pepperoni sausage, hold the vegetables deep dish pizza. Just look at my cheese. Your place or mine. Beggar's Pizza. We lay it on thick.
Having surgery or dealing with some type of nagging pain that limits your function? Then get to athletics. We offer treatment for all types of orthopedic injuries, work-related injuries, and sports injuries. Therapists with over 20 years of experience provide treatment that is efficient and effective. Our 2,000 square foot clinics offer state-of-the-art equipment from HydroTrack, Blankenship, and Biodex. If your doctor suggests physical therapy, then you suggest athletics, where every patient is treated like a champion.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. Our first guest tonight, Marist football coach Ron Dawczak. Ron, how you doing, my man?
Great to be here tonight. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for spending some time with us. Always great to have you on. Well, you know, this is a little different. Week 9, hosting Brother Rice. You know, this is usually a lot of times in week 1. So now it's at the end of the season. Do you like this? Do you like having the archest of rivals in the final game of a regular season?
You know what? I do. It's a little bit different. Like you said, it's always been at the beginning of the season. I think playing at the end, you know, the teams have worked out any, you know, kinks from the beginning of the year. So this should be a clean football game. You know, getting ready to head into the playoffs, both teams. So, you know, we're trying to reach your peak or, you know, get to that peak as you enter the playoffs. So I think both teams will be hitting on all cylinders, and it's going to be a great game.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's any disadvantages to something like this?
You know, the only disadvantage really is, you know, the potential. This is going to be such a high intensity game, the potential for injury as you head into the playoffs. Yep. Last year's game when we played Brother Rice was one of the hardest hitting games that I've been a part of as a head coach. So, you know, it's always a great game, but you hope kids don't get too banged up, you know, heading into the playoffs. That's just, you know, one of the concerns that could happen.
That's one of the concerns. And I would think, you know, at that point, there's, like you said, there's so much buildup for this game and, you know, the history of this game that you hope whoever the losing team is, you know, you got to rally the troops a little bit, man. But I would think, though, when you have the playoffs, you know, and they're going to make the announcements on Saturday, that's a good pick-me-up either way, right?
It is a good pick-me-up. No matter what happens in the game, you know, you're looking forward to Saturday night and finding out who your playoff opponent is, and you have to have that quick turnaround. Whether you win, you can't be too high, and if you lose, you're rallying the troops and you're trying to get them ready for the next opponent.
Yep. So you beat them in the spring, 20-16, correct?
Correct.
So what is the message to your guys this week? Because you guys are sitting 6-2 right now.
You know, the message really is to focus on getting as prepared as we can and not let the distractions and the hoopla that goes with this game get to them. You know, there's obviously with the neighborhood rivalry, it's a big game. There's passionate fans on both sides, but it really is to not get lost in all that and to focus on the preparation for this game so that we can play our best football game as a team.
And, you know, Rice has one of the area's top quarterbacks, as you do too. I mean, this is going to be fun to watch Jack Lausch and Dontrell Jackson Jr. go at it here. But, you know, Lausch is putting up, you know, 5, 6 touchdowns combined running and passing. What do you got to do to kind of contain this guy a little bit, man?
You know, basically, we have to try to limit the big plays, make him work for everything that, you know, that he's going to get. He is a tremendous football player, a tremendous athlete, but we want to make things difficult for him. We don't want to just make things easy and have him run, you know, run around and have free throws, you know, to open receivers. We're going to make him work for it.
Yeah, you got to pressure him. That's for sure, right? And then, you know, Dontrell Jackson Jr., Coastal Carolina commit, senior, dual threat big time. What does he need to do to kind of get this offense rolling and come out on top?
You know, I think he needs to do what he's done up to this point in the season, and that's, you know, read the defense, don't force anything, you know, get the ball to our playmakers when the opportunity presents itself. And if things, you know, break down in the passing game, if they have coverage, he can use his legs to, you know, to move the chains for us. I think if he continues to take care of the ball and not force anything, you know, that bodes well for our offense, and he's going to put us in spots where we can score some points.
Yep. And, you know, having a home field advantage in this rivalry, do you feel like, is there a home field advantage, or does it really matter, man?
You know what? I don't know if it matters because, you know, the schools being 2 miles apart, there's going to be, you know, people from the neighborhood. People can walk here, you know, to the game, and people from the, you know, from Brother Rice can walk over to the stadium. So I don't necessarily know there's a home field advantage. It's great to have our, you know, our fans you know, we have a big stands. Our student section has been awesome this year, so that's going to help out. But when it boils down to it, it's about playing the football game and not getting lost in all that stuff that's going on. So whether it's a home field advantage or not, you know, it doesn't hurt us playing at home. I'll put it that way. But you know, we're going to focus on what goes on in between the white lines.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, folks, if you plan on attending the game, tickets are going to go on sale Wednesday. Now, on TV broadcast, it's 9 o'clock, obviously, so it's, you know, it's kind of out of the barn. But if you're watching online, make arrangements to get to Marist. They'll be selling tickets beginning Wednesday morning, correct?
Wednesday in our main office, they'll be selling tickets. So you know, they're probably going to go pretty quick. So, you know, come on up and get them.
Hottest ticket in town, that's for sure, for week 9. All right, folks, we are going to go to a Lisa Thomas Salon timeout. Remember, 3 locations: Mokina, Tinley Park, and Orland Park. When we come back, more with Marist football coach Ron Dawczak. Stay tuned.
At Lisa Thomas Salon, we think loving yourself and your selfie starts with the perfect stylist. That's why we've assembled an amazing team, each with a unique passion for beauty, providing the perfect combination of innovation and experience. Then adding just a little bit of fun. For hair, skin, nails, and makeup, no one does beautiful like Lisa Thomas. Because life's too exciting to settle for the same old thing. Schedule today at Lisa Thomas Salon, a Redken Elite partner with 3 area locations.
Bob's Auto Body and Repair in Blue Island has been prospering since 1968 when Robert Warniak Sr. opened a business. Bob's goal? To go above and beyond to satisfy their customers. Whether it's a small ding or a major collision repair, Bob's is a trained technician and state-of-the-art equipment to meet the high standards their customers expect and that Bob's demands. Bob's also offers complete mechanical services for your automobile, from an oil change to brake repairs. Mention this ad, Bob's will detail your car for free with any auto body work or give you a free oil change with any mechanical work. Bob's Auto Body and Repair, Blue Island.
If you're suffering from physical pain, nothing else matters. The one thing that should is Midwest Orthopaedic Consultants, because experience never mattered more. Serving the community for 25 years with over 90 years of combined orthopedic experience, our fellowship-trained surgeons provide individualized care to those suffering from orthopedic pain. We deliver comprehensive care from diagnostic to surgical to rehabilitative services, all under one roof in each of our locations. Midwest Orthopedic Consultants, bringing university-level orthopedic care close to home.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. If you're just joining us, we are with Marist football coach Ron Dawczak. All right, Ron, the 2 losses you had coincidentally were by 12 points to both Loyola and Mount Carmel. When you look back at those 2 games, is there anything you look at and say, man, I wish I would have done this a little differently? Or what have you learned to kind of apply to the rest of the season?
You know, for us, it's really about playing a full 48 minutes as a team. That's always our goal, and we talk to our team about that. You can't let up. I mean, those 2 losses are to teams in our division. I believe we play in the toughest division in the state of Illinois. And, you know, in the Mount Carmel game, we had a lead at halftime, and I don't think that we came out and matched their intensity in the second half. And, you know, that can't happen. You have to play that 48 minutes. We played a good half of football in that game, and they outplayed us in the second half and came away with a victory. In the Loyola game, it was a great game, back and forth. You know, we were a 4th down stop away. A kid made an unbelievable catch to continue their drive, and they scored a touchdown. But if we make that play, you know, we end up with the ball down by 5 going in for a potential lead, and it just didn't work that way. You know, great teams are going to make plays, and that's the message to our kids is every single play you have to, you know, that could be the game, the play that changes the outcome of the game. So when you play great teams like we do, you can't let your guard down at all. You have to play that full 48 minutes because any one of the plays along the way could be the one that makes the difference in the game.
Exactly, and you know, there's a shot down the road in the 8A playoffs. You get Loyola again, and you'll definitely trade a regular season loss for a playoff win any day of the week.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
All right, you know, people forget because of what this program has become. I mean, you guys have qualified for the playoffs 12 out of the last 13 seasons. You finished 2nd place in Class 8A in 2009 and 2015. You know, before Pat Dunn, who you took over for, you know, came aboard, I mean, this program was struggling big time. What's it like for you? I mean, this is your 6th or 5 for you?
This is my 5th year as a head coach.
Okay. So what's it been like to kind of maintain that success and keep this train rolling like you have?
You know, it's really been a great honor for me to be the person that took over after Pat Dunn, because like you said, he really did build this program from the foundation up, and he left me with a great situation to walk into. So it is an absolute honor. Like you said, it was not that long ago, it's, you know, 12, 15 years ago, where it was a big deal if Marist made the playoffs. Now, not only are we expected to make the playoffs, but we're expected to make noise. And we're, you know, and that's a great mantle for us for me to carry based off of what he built. He put in the hard work and got our players to buy into what it takes to be successful. And that just tradition has carried on to the current players.
Yeah, and kudos to you though, man. I mean, because that's a tough thing. People think, oh, you walk into a great situation, but maintaining that situation is very difficult to do, man. And with your kids too, beyond just excellent football players, I mean, you've sent a ton of kids to college, but you got great kids, man, great young men.
And what's the kids have continued to buy into what we preach as a staff, and I by no means do I want to minimize. I think that, you know, a lot of the credit does go to the assistants that are on staff. You know, a lot of the assistants have stayed on, so those guys just, you know, work their butts off to continue to get our kids better, teach the game of football, and teach them about the, you know, what's going to help them be successful in life. And I think that those guys, you know, deserve a lot of credit.
Great. So if everything comes to fruition here for this team, what are the Red Hawks capable of achieving in the 8A playoffs?
You know what, I think that we have the ability to play and beat any team in the state. I really do. You know, you look at the 2 losses that we've had to Mount Carmel and to Loyola. Those are 2 of the top programs in the state, and we were right in there in both of those games. So I think if we play like we're capable of playing, we can beat any team that is, you know, lines up against us. And that's the message. Our players believe that, and we look forward to the game this Friday, and we look forward to what, you know, lies ahead in the playoffs.
Yeah. And you know, the school in general, and you guys have, when's your testing day?
Our testing day is Saturday, December 4th. Before that, we have our open or our shadow days every Friday, where 8th graders can come in and take a look at Marist and go through a day and see what it's like to be a student here at Marist. So I encourage anybody that's interested in Marist to come and check us out for a shadow day.
Yep, and you know what? I mean, I know it's tough for a lot of private schools, but Marist has kind of bucked the trend, man. You guys always, in terms of testing and your enrollment, I mean, you guys are just doing things right. What makes this place so special? You know,
I think it's that combination of great academics, great facilities, and you pair that with great athletic opportunities. We're competitive across a lot of different sports, boys and girls, and I think it's that full experience that makes Marist a special place. The other thing too is the people. This really is, it's like a family atmosphere when you're walking through the halls here, and I think people that come in for the first time feel that, and that's why there's a lot of people that want to come to school here.
Yep. And you speak from experience.
Absolutely, as a proud alum.
That's right. All right, Ron, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Good luck Friday. Good luck in those 8A playoffs. It's going to be a lot of fun around here.
Thanks again for having me.
All right, folks, we are going to go to an athletics timeout. When we return, we're going to have on Dr. James Leonard, from Midwest Orthopaedic Consultant Sports Medicine. He's been a guest of ours on a number of occasions, and he's a team doctor here and at Sandburg. So we come back, Dr. James Leonard will be our guest. Stay tuned. Athletic Sports and Orthopedic Physical Therapy is a 2,200 square foot facility that includes the latest in rehabilitation equipment, including the HydroTrack underwater treadmill. All therapists at Athletics are experienced and offer hands-on treatment for patients that require such therapy. Whether it's your feet, ankles, knees, hips, lower back, shoulders, elbows, wrists, neck, or jaw, Athletics is here to help. We at Athletics understand you as a patient have the right to choose where you receive treatment. Ask your physician if Athletics, with locations in Oak Lawn and Orland Park, is right for you. Whether you're in the mood for a Chicago-style hot dog, Italian beef sandwich, Philly cheesesteak, or charbroiled cheeseburger, Joey's Red Hots has you covered. In the mood for something lighter, Joey's Salads promises to hit the spot. Looking to cool off on a hot day or after a workout? Joey's refreshing homemade Italian ice will satisfy. Come check out Joey's Red Hots at 17400 Wolf Road in Orland Park or at 115th Street and Western Avenue in the Beverly community, where they're open until 5 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. No matter which location you visit, Joey's Red Hots promises to provide exceptional tasting food at an affordable price.
Delivery should be done professionally, especially when it comes to your car. Now you can buy a car from the comfort and safety of your home. Introducing South Oak Jeep Dodge Ram Chrysler's online shopper, the most convenient way to buy a car online. To begin, start by selecting your vehicle. You'll see the Buy From Home button on every vehicle description page. Use the Explore Payment Options tool to customize your payment. Choose between lease, finance, or cash. Whatever works best for you. Have a trade-in? Get an instant value with your vehicle along with a transparent report so you know you're getting a great deal. To confirm your custom payment, simply fill out our quick credit application. And best of all, you can schedule a day and time to pick up your vehicle. Or we'll deliver it right to you. A South Oak representative will be there to chat with you throughout the entire process. We will walk you through step by step. Buying a car has never been easier. Visit southoak.com today.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I'd like to thank Marist football coach Ron Dawczak for being our guest tonight. And our next guest from Midwest Orthopaedic Consultant Sports Medicine, Dr. James Leonard. Dr. Leonard, thanks for coming on board again.
Hello, glad to be back. It's been a while.
It's been a little while,
yeah.
man. You know, we've had some issues, in the world, so now we're back.
It was 2 years ago, but it felt like last year, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened in 2020, so yeah.
Absolutely. So we should say Dr. Leonard's a proud Sandburg alum, member of the soccer team back in the day, and man, 10 years. Midwest Orthopaedic Consultants.
It's been 10 years, and yeah, it was actually the first thing I did coming from Vanderbilt was going to Sandburg, talking to the trainers and the physical therapists and trying to get some inroads there. And actually my first assignment as an orthopedic surgeon was covering a Sandburg Andrew game. So that was the first thing I ever did, and so they kind of opened doors for me and got me going. So I'm appreciative of them because it's been 10 years, things have grown like crazy since then. But I always kind of appreciate where things kind of got started.
Yeah, and there's two locations, folks, as we tell you every week, in Oak Lawn on 95th Street and in Orland Park. And that's not a bad introduction, though, Sandburg Andrew for you, right? Being a Sandburg guy back?
It's true, yes. And, I remember that, and it's always nice to go back to something familiar when you're starting something new. So, had necessarily any intentions of coming back home, but it just ended up working out like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, the growth of sports medicine everywhere, but in particular at Midwest Orthopedic Consultants. Let's talk about that. It's in 10 years' time.
Yeah, you know, when I started at Midwest Orthopedics, they didn't really have a sports medicine program. They didn't really have a name on the South Side, and so, you know, I took my experience at Vanderbilt and took that kind of how we treated the Vanderbilt sports medicine in the training room and everything, and took that to the South Side. And so I took that paradigm to Sandburg, and then the following year took it to Marist. It was really successful. I do training rooms at the school every Wednesday, so I get to see athletes in the training rooms. Developed a lot of good relationships with the coaches and the trainers and the parents. And then about 3 or 4 years later, kind of expanded to Andrew High School. Took over Mother McCauley. In that process, we hired a non-operative sports medicine doctor. We've hired 2 athletic trainers, a physician's assistant. So it's really grown, and you know, it's taken 10 years, but I'm really happy with where we're at. We're seeing athletes from all over at different levels, and this is kind of what I wanted to. Yeah. So kind of the goals that I thought about doing 10 years ago have kind of come to fruition, and so I'm very appreciative of that.
No, not surprising, based on everything you've achieved, and just talking to you know, Coach Dawczak and talking to Troy McAllister and Scott Peters, who he took over for. I mean, they just, you know, marvel at you, man. They've got nothing but great things to say about you and your dedication and commitment and your knowledge.
You know, I mean, sports medicine is all about relationships and relationship buildings, and it starts with building relationships with the coaches and the families and the parents, and so they're going to go with who they trust, and so that starts with, you know, seeing the kids on the field, in the training rooms, doing a lot of the dirty work that sometimes isn't really that glamorous and takes a lot of time and commitment, but you see it at the end. You know, I was at a Marist golf outing a couple weeks ago, and I saw some of my patients that I had treated like 8 years ago, and they still remembered me. And so it's things like that that I really appreciate. That shows that, you know, what I'm doing is working, and, you know, it's fun. You know, I've been able to go to a lot of fun sporting events, state finals. You know, we got Marist and Brother Rice this week, so it's going to be fun. So altogether, it's just a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing it.
Yep.
So
that's the beauty of it too. And you being a former athlete, I'm sure that helps as well, right?
Well, I mean, it's all about the perspective. You know, I grew up in a family where we were all athletes, and knowing that perspective, knowing that athletes don't want to hear surgeons talk about surgeries. You know, they want to make sure that they've exhausted all other options. And, you know, my goal is to get all the athletes back out playing, not seeing me in the office. And I think the coaches understand that. And so if we are talking about surgery, we're doing it because we have to, and because it's the best option for that athlete. And so again, we try to avoid it. We do everything else, but, you know, they'd rather be out here, not in my office.
Yep. Well, you know, we alluded to a little bit in the open here, but, you know, with COVID and athletics, how has that kind of been, you know, as a dynamic here for you?
It's been interesting, and I learned a lot about athletics during the COVID shutdown and everything. I think that a lot of athletes learn to appreciate it, so I think that's most importantly. But, you know, as a physician, I always have to be thinking about it. So although some people can ignore it, I had to think about it and deal with things. If an athlete got COVID, when can they go back to play? Yep. What do we do for teams that are traveling when they're on buses, when they're practicing? Those types of things. You know, we've had some issues where I've had to talk to cardiologists and infectious disease doctors, because really I don't want any more shutdowns, and so everything that I do is to try to prevent anyone from missing time. And so I never really thought that my job would involve talking to cardiologists or ID doctors, but it ended up working out that way.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about research and development. You know, ACL prevention, throwing injury prevention, return to sports following surgery.
Yeah. You know, I think that now that, you know, my practice is pretty developed, I've looked to expand and do a lot of the things that you normally would think about doing at like a Rush or a Northwestern. But, you know, we have the patient volume, we have the athletes here to be able to do that at home on the South Side. We don't have to go to the city. So, you know, we're working on developing ACL prevention programs for all my high schools in the summer. We're working on trying to develop throwing programs for athletes to avoid, again, coming in to see me. And then when someone does need surgery, when can they go back to sport? How long does it take an ACL person to go back to basketball or football or those kinds of things? And so that's what we're really trying to develop, is we really try to optimize the care of the athlete.
Yep. All right, folks, and again, 2 locations, 4220 95th Street in Oak Lawn, and Orland Park, 10719 West 160th Street. So This guy's one of the best here, Dr. James Leonard, Southside guy, and like I said, just gets rave reviews from people at Marist and at Sandburg. So, Dr. James Leonard, thanks again for coming on board. Always a pleasure. We'll get you on again a little bit later in the season and continue to being a sponsor of the Coach's Corner Show. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we are going to go to a Labriola Bakery Cafe timeout. When we return, unveil our players of the week. Stay tuned.
Looking for a unique dining experience with incredible food? Then check out Labriola Bakery Cafe. Opened by Rich Labriola, Chicago's premier artisan baker, you know they'll have great bread, but you won't believe the rest of their menu. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizzas, fresh pasta, and their world-famous Richie Burger. There's also homemade gelato and, of course, their famous bread. Labriola Bakery Cafe and Neapolitan Pizzeria, conveniently located in the Oak Brook Promenade.
At Lisa Thomas Salon, we think loving yourself and your selfie starts with the perfect stylist. That's why we've assembled an amazing team, each with a unique passion for beauty, providing the perfect combination of innovation and experience. Then adding just a little bit of fun for hair, skin, nails, and makeup. No one does beautiful like Lisa Thomas, because life's too exciting to settle for the same old thing. Schedule today at Lisa Thomas Salon, a Redken Elite partner with 3 area locations.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show. I'd like to thank Dr. James Leonard from Midwest Orthopaedic Consultant Sports Medicine for being our guest. All right, folks, players of the week. The Labriola Bakery Cafe Golden Baguette Player of the Week, Jake Maziarka had an 80-yard TD run and a 63-yard TD reception to lead Sandburg to a 28-20 win over HF. We'll hook up Jake with a nice gift certificate, compliments of Labriola Bakery Cafe in Chicago and Oak Brook, and you can also use that at La Barra Restaurant in Oak Brook as well. The Lisa Thomas Salon Player of the Week, Cameron Deblacourt, had 21 assists to lead Lockport past Bolingbrook and Sandburg. For Cameron's efforts, we're going to hook her up with a nice gift certificate and some product compliments of Lisa Thomas Salons in Mokina, Tinley Park, and Orland Park. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed the show. Week 9, get out to some games. There's some unbelievable Week 9 games, specifically some rivalry games you want to get out to and check out. And top of the heap right here, Marist hosting Brother Rice. All right, folks, have a great week. We will see you next week.